Hi there, I'm Christy. Welcome to my channel, to my kitchen, to my homestead. I am in Northern Alberta, Canada, and today I am participating in the 3 Rivers Challenge, which is a pantry challenge. First of all, I wanted to say hi to everyone who is new and welcome. I am blown away by the amount of support and encouragement I've been receiving through all of my videos. I actually hit a milestone because of you, and I am so grateful. I currently have hit 30,000 views, and it just, honestly, my mind is blown that so many people find me interesting. Anyways, I wanted to say thank you and welcome. It means the world to me, and it's so wonderful to feel the sense of community with the interactions from all of you that take the time out of your day to watch the video, to comment, to get to know me, allow me to get to know you. It's just been a really wonderful, blessed experience, and I am so grateful to have had this opportunity. And let's not forget the person who initially set out to create this challenge, which is Jessica at 3 Rivers Homestead. I don't think you knew exactly how much this challenge would be growing, and so I'm really grateful for this opportunity and that this challenge was created in the first place. So thank you. Okay, so today in this video, you're gonna see me make this zucchini and carrot muffins with raisins and cinnamon. Before we get started on getting all that going, I just wanted to say that I've observed something during this challenge. I've observed so many people who are so creative and so interesting. There is like this interesting dialogue that goes on in the comments. I've really noticed there are so many people interested in doing this pantry challenge. And I think a lot of us that have been participating in this pantry challenge, it's not so much of, is it a skill that we can actually achieve? Like, am I a good enough cook, or do I have enough stock on hand? It's more of a psychological game. It's that getting into this idea or this routine that you do have enough, you do have the creativity, you do have the abundance around you. And it's a hard discipline to kind of stay without straying too far and just wanting to go reach for those conveniences. And I think that to every single person out there in YouTube land or wherever who is doing the pantry challenge, whether it is as a goal, whether it's an achievement that you're set out to make to build on your skills, or whether it's out of necessity, like I just experienced going through being stranded at home for a week where I had no choice. This is a psychological experience that we're building on a discipline here. And I just wanted to say, I see you guys. Cheers to all of your hard work and dedication. It is not easy. And you know, whether or not you're growing your own food or canning your own food, or you're just going to the grocery store and stocking up and trying to work through what you have, it doesn't matter. You're still faced with the same psychological dance of, can I do this? Am I creative enough? Do I have enough? And it is so hard to break those old cycles of belief where we've been kind of conditioned to think that we always need more, and we don't. We have it all. And if we feel alone, we definitely have each other, because there's an abundance of wealth of information, not just on the videos, but in the comments of all the videos and all the people that are viewing and participating. This is a wonderful, wonderful experience, and I hope you're enjoying it as well. All right, so let's get cooking. I'm gonna make some muffins today. I have some goodies that I found some of crushed pineapple made out of zucchini. Rachel at 1870s Homestead did this last year, and I copied her, and it's great. I really love this stuff for baking muffins and cakes and such. It's basically just canned shredded zucchini in pineapple juice. And this is applesauce. I pressure canned some zucchini and apples as a sauce with berries. and I use this as, I'm gonna try to use this somewhere today. So I was looking for some inspiration to see what I was gonna do with this zucchini or crushed pineapple stuff. And I made a book, like this was just a gift that I made for some family members it's just a little cookbook with wipeable pages. And I made this recipe book several years ago as Christmas gifts. And this was back when I was a publisher. And so I had the resources and such. So I made this cute little cookbook, and in here I have this recipe. It's best ever muffins, carrot or zucchini muffins. So I'm gonna make this recipe today, and I will post it for you down in the links or in the description below. But it's really, really simple. It's flour, eggs, baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, oil, eggs, did I say eggs? Carrots, crushed pineapple, and raisins. It's super, super simple. Instead of oil, I'm gonna try to substitute some of this into there as well and see how it works. Hopefully I can even do half of substitute for some of the oil. So that was one of the things I would like to make. I do have a ton of raisins to use up. And like I said, I wanted to use this stuff, start using it, and I have some wilty carrots that need to be grated up and used up here as well that are in the fridge from the garden. So we're kind of just gonna check off a bunch of boxes to, you know, maybe use those as lunches for the week. So that's the plan so far, and then soup for later today. So let's get started. In this recipe, I'm gonna double it, and I'm going to use freeze-dried eggs, and I'm going to reconstitute it with this, like the juice from this pineapple or zucchini. And that's my plan. I'm gonna use that. And then once I kind of squeeze this down, so I have the measure that I need for a doubled batch, then I'm gonna fill the rest of it with grated carrot that I can find in the fridge. I might only need a couple, but that's my plan. I'm gonna reconstitute the eggs and pineapple juice. This sounds so weird, but I want that flavor. I want a lot of flavor, and I don't want this to go to waste. And if you are making this recipe, you don't have to use freeze-dried eggs. I have a couple fresh eggs left in the fridge that I want to leave fresh, and for baking I want to use my freeze-dried eggs from earlier this summer when my hens were free-ranging. So this recipe calls for 2 eggs, but since I was doubling it, I needed 4 eggs. So the equivalency of 4 eggs was 4 tablespoons of freeze-dried eggs. And so that's what I measured out here. Next, I opened the pineapple juice, and then I discovered this. So when I opened this jar of pineapple zucchini, there was a spot on the lid, and I checked it, and it is not mold. There was damage to the actual lid itself, and it's more of like a rust. I am not gonna use this jar of food because I will not take any risks, and you cannot take risks when it comes to canned food. It smells fine, it looks fine, but I'm still gonna dump it out and go get a new jar because there was damage to this. I don't wanna risk it for my family, their health and well-being. So I just thought I would mention that. So this is gonna go in the garbage, that's gonna get dumped out, and I'm gonna go start again. I found another jar, and it looked just perfect, smelled amazing, it was awesome. So I simply just strained the zucchini from the pineapple juice, and I just set it into another measuring cup so I could kind of see what I had available, and I made such a big mess doing it. I then measured out 9 tablespoons. Actually, I think I ended up measuring 10 into the eggs. Usually, I would do either 1 tablespoon of dry egg to 2 or 3 tablespoons of liquid. And so I was kind of playing with it to see where it was or what I needed to add here. And I think I ended up adding 10 tablespoons total to the eggs. Next, I set up my food processor with the shred on medium, and I just started processing some garden carrots that I found in the fridge that were a little bit wilty. I realized very quickly that I probably didn't have enough, but I took a measure anyways to see. For this double batch, I needed 2 cups of grated carrot, and I was just shy. So I decided to go rummage and see if I could find some more, and I did, lucked out, and I had exactly enough. I had exactly 2 cups of carrot at the end of the shredding. So that worked out really well. I don't know what it is about shredded carrots. They make such a mess. I get them everywhere. I even had some in my hair. I don't know how it got there, but it was there. Here's a fun fact for you that in northern Alberta, Canada, where I am, one of the biggest pests that we have for carrots, I mean, as a critter, it's not rabbits, it's not deer, it's coyotes. Coyotes love carrots. Also, I changed my mind on using the canned applesauce because there's lots of berries and stuff in it. I wanted to use some applesauce that I actually had freeze-dried. So I'm gonna give that a whirl and see how that works because I have extra pineapple juice that I don't want it to go to waste. I had freeze-dried this earlier this year. These apples, I had just cooked down an applesauce and cut them into little kind of like applesauce fingers. The reason I really like making these kind of things, or the reason I made these in the first place, was to take as snacks. If you haven't noticed, it's really cold here. So taking an apple as a snack when you're outside doing stuff or in a vehicle, it's not realistic because everything freezes. Unless you have heat on it. So applesauce sticks are a perfect solution for a quick, healthy, easy snack. I ended up, I needed 2/3 of a cup of applesauce, so I added water to the 2/3 cup mark, and then I just kept adding applesauce sticks to reconstitute it, and it ended up having a really nice consistency. I should mention that this applesauce had peels. I didn't peel the apples when I processed this case of apples, so it looks a little clumpy. Next, I went and checked on the eggs and gave it another little whisk, and I definitely shouldn't have, or I should have blended up the eggs into more of a powder after they were freeze-dried, but they ended up working just fine. It just took a little bit more whisking and such, and I probably could have used a little bit more fluid. However, I think that the pineapple juice may have cooked the eggs a little bit because these were raw eggs, and I noticed it was very thick, kind of like when you temper eggs. So anyway, I thought that the applesauce reconstituted really, really well, and so I thought just add it into the eggs, and it actually blended up beautifully. I was very impressed. Next, I needed 2/3 of a cup of oil, so I just added that in and gave it a really good whisk until it was all incorporated and had a really nice, as smooth as could be with apple peels in there. I know it looks awful. I could have put an immersion blender, but they cooked up really nice, and I kind of liked having the peels in the finished product anyway, so it worked out well. Next, I added the carrots, and I left the peel on these carrots. They're organic carrots and such. And then I just added the zucchini, and I added the raisins, the zucchini / pineapple, the fake pineapple, I guess. It really is a nice batter. I was really impressed with how it all come together with those freeze-dried ingredients. Next, I added 3 cups of flour, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and I gave it a really good mix. If you're not in a rush like I was today, if you have the time, I would recommend sifting your ingredients if you have lumpy ingredients like I did, but it blends up fine. I didn't have any problems with it. I did notice it was a little thick, so I added a little bit of water just because there's a lot of freeze-dried ingredients, and it was really reconstituting very well. So I wanted to just make sure they were nice and evenly hydrated, so I just added a little bit, and it was a perfect consistency. My family loves the mini muffins. They actually adore them, so I wanted to make them. And then I realized when I was getting my pan ready that I forgot to add the cinnamon, so I added about a tablespoon of cinnamon, or
well, about, yeah, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, I would say. Next, I took the little scoop and I just scooped them into a greased mini muffin pan or mini brownie pan, I guess. My family, they literally will, there could be a whole bunch of regular size muffins and they will just ask for these all the time. I don't know why, they just taste better. I cleaned up my mess with some paper towel and then I popped it in the oven at 375 for 10 minutes while I was getting the regular size muffin tins ready. And yeah. I can't remember if I mentioned that the raisins, there was 2 handfuls of raisins. I don't know how much. The excess dough or batter, sorry, that I just put it in a little baking dish and I popped it in with the other tray of muffins. The consistency of these was really nice. They're very moist. I really love this recipe. I truly do. It's one of my favorites, whether I'm using freeze-dried ingredients, canned ingredients. It doesn't matter. This is always my go-to, and it's so versatile. It has a really nice texture, and I was very impressed with the way that these ingredients all come together. This really baked up very nicely in this glass container, and I really liked the way that they baked in the muffin tins. In the large muffin tins, it took about 20 minutes for them to be done. If you are making this recipe and you're using regular applesauce or whatnot, I think the sugar would be okay, but because I used freeze-dried applesauce, oh my goodness, it is so sweet. So I think if I was doing this recipe just like I did if I was like replicating what I just did in this video, I would cut the sugar down to a half of a cup or even like a little less. It is extremely sweet. So that applesauce is so intense in sweetness. And when I reconstituted the eggs with that's really sweet pineapple juice from the canned zucchini pineapple, it really intensified the sweetness. So it is extremely sweet. So kids will love it. The raisins were really sweet that I added as well. So it's just like sweetness upon sweetness upon sweetness. It's like, ooh, sweet. Well, thank you so much for being here on this pantry challenge journey with me. You'll see another video that I will be recording today, but you'll probably see that tomorrow. This is a wrap on today's video. Thank you for being here. See you next time. Bye for now.